everyone, and welcome to the Litany of Catholic Martyrs for January 5th. In a secular world filled with those who would turn their backs on the one sent by the Creator, we take time today to honor those men, women, and children who joyfully offered themselves as a living sacrifice to Holy Mother Church. As we go about our daily chores, let us bring to mind those martyred men, women, and children with the words of Father John Hardon, Society of Jesus. Never in the history of the papacy has any bishop of Rome written at greater length about martyrdom than Pope St. John Paul II. In his encyclical, The Gospel of Life, it devotes 1,000 or more words to the call to martyrdom in our age. He reminds us that the revelation from the Old Testament to the New, and from the time of Christ to the present day, is the history of martyrdom as a witness to the truth. He names Susanna, who refused to consent to lechery and was ready to die to preserve her chastity. He spoke of John the Baptist, who was beheaded by King Herod because he condemned the adulterous marriage of the king. But he especially identifies Jesus Christ as the King of Martyrs, who died on the cross as a witness to the truth, which he was sent to proclaim to the world. So the history of courageous practice and profession of the truth has gone on for 20 centuries of Christianity. We commonly speak of the first 300 years of the Christian era as the Age of Martyrs. Certainly tens of thousands of believing Christians laid down their lives rather than compromise their Catholic faith and morality to the pagan culture in which they lived. Every single pope, up to the 4th century, died a martyr's death. So far from crushing Catholicism or destroying the church founded by Christ, martyrdom actually contributed to the growth of a Catholic civilization. The phrase sanguis martyrum esse Christianorum, the blood of martyrs is the seed of Christians, was not some pious aphorism. It was a literal fact of history. The more blood was shed by Catholics in dying for the faith, the more Catholicism expanded throughout what had been a pagan world. So with all that being said by the great John Hardon, the following is a list of those the Church asks us to remember today. This is the vigil of the Epiphany of our Lord. At Rome, in the time of Antoninus Pius, Saint Telephorus, this is Greek. At Rome, in the time of Antoninus Pius, Saint Telephorus, Pope, who after many sufferings for the confession of Christ, underwent a glorious martyrdom. In Egypt, during the persecution of Diocletian, the commemoration of many holy martyrs who were put to death in Thebai by various kinds of torments. At Antioch, Saint Simeon, monk, who lived many years, standing on a pillar, and was for that reason called Stylites. His whole life was an unbroken series of many, many wonders. In England, St. Edward King, illustrious by the virtue of chastity and the gift of miracles. His feast, by order of Pope Innocent XI, is celebrated on the 13th of October, when his sacred body was translated. At Alexandria, Saint Syncletica, whose noble deeds have been recorded by Saint Athanasius. At Rome, the Holy Virgin Emiliana, aunt of Pope Saint Gregory, being called to God by her sister Tharcia, who had preceded her. She departed for heaven on that day, and finally, the same day, Saint Apollinaris, Virgin. These are the men, women, and children today. May we act like them if presented with a situation that calls us to act courageously and defend the faith. Thank you all for listening.